So what uncomfortable truth that many people do not know is that a high income does not guarantee a good financial health. One that is earning 300,000 can have a better financial health than somebody else earning 800 and even 2 million. Yes, your financial health is a function of many other factors aside from income. I'm going to be looking at that as we progress in the session tonight. So what is the MYF framework, the Master Your Finances framework? What are we talking about for the next 2 days? First one is your mindset. And the second one is know your numbers. And then third, build your system, then multiply and protect. Please, I would like to know, how is my voice, how is my sound? Please type in the comment section. Can you hear me loud and clear? Are there feedbacks? Is it echoing? Can we make it better? Please let me know in the chat box. Okay, so but before I go on with the session today, who I am, who am I? Oh, who am I? Yes, very important that I introduce myself because quite a number of us are joining this session for the first time, right? So I'm going to move on to the next one that goes, that shows a bit of detail about me. So some of us have followed me on Facebook for a while and you ask questions. What does this guy do? In fact, somebody was asking me when I shared the pyramid of stages of finances, was asking me which stage am I. I told him to join the masterclass. He's going to find out. So what I do to make money, my primary source of income, is what you can see on the first part of this slide. That's an automation engineer. So I work with one of the fastest growing, in fact, largest indigenous energy company in Nigeria. That's the best I can tell you. So what I do on a daily basis is I design systems to automate processes, so industrial systems, to ensure that there's little human labor required to make those processes function. So that's what I do on a daily basis, right? So that's why you see me, I'm very passionate about education, because it is because I have a degree in engineering. That is why I'm doing this work I do now for the last almost 9 years now. And I mean, I earn pretty well to live a very comfortable life in Nigeria. So aside that, I'm a personal finance evangelist. This is what everybody knows me for on social media, right? Talk about money, talk about wealth building, talk about investing, how to manage your money, all of that. The last frame here is me as an entrepreneur. So I've been playing in the entrepreneurship. I've been playing the entrepreneurship game for about maybe 15 years now. My first shot was in 2011, or maybe even earlier. Right, so I love making money to make more money for me. Aside from investing, I love to make money quickly in a very short period of time. And the only way you can make money in a short period of time is business. Your 8 to 5 will pay you once a month, but business can pay you multiple times in a day. So Obachukwu has an 8 to 5. It does personal finance coaching and teaching and training, and also a businessman. So myself and my wife were running one of the fastest growing food brand in Lagos. That is amongst other things I do. You can see me sat there on an inverter setup. I also set up inverter systems for high income earners, right? So day one, what I'm going to be talking about today is take control of your money. From money mindsets to a financial system that works in real life. So we're going to cover all of these today, and I hope to do that in 1 hour. Okay. So money mindsets, there's something I always say, which is that you can never outdo your mindsets. You can never outdo your mindsets. As a man thinketh, so he is. One of the reasons why many of us are struggling financially is because of our mindsets. Our mindset is working against us. So one of the things you will have to correct first in your journey to financial freedom, or one of the things you need to upgrade first, or one of the things you need to address first, is your mindset. Your mindset is what governs your day-to-day activities and, in the long term, the outcome of your finances or your financial future. So you have to pay very much attention to your mindset. There are lots of money mindsets, limiting mindset. Many. There are many money limiting mindsets, but today we're going to be talking about just 7 of them, and maybe if there's time, I'll go more into it. So the first one is, I don't earn enough to save or invest. A lot of people tell me this. Some people will tell you that investing is for rich people. That's their excuse for not investing. They think that they need to be rich first. They need to earn a high income, maybe millions of naira, before they can invest in. You don't need to earn so much money to invest. From the very little income that you earn on a monthly basis, you can dedicate a part of it for investing. We're going to talk more about that tomorrow. The next thing is, who reading help? A lot of people in Nigeria don't value reading. Reading is one way you can accelerate your financial growth. Reading is one way you can accelerate your financial growth. Being born in Nigeria and being born in a poor background, or coming from a poor background, you already have a disadvantage. There are a lot of things that you do not know about life. In fact, most of the things that you know about life is the reason why you are not advancing in life. Reading is how you can cover ground. Reading is how you can rub your mind with people in the first world. The way they think is not the same way we think. I'll say it again. As a man thinketh, so he is. You cannot outdo your mindset. The reason why many of us are struggling financially, spiritually, and otherwise is our mindset. Somebody was telling me recently on Facebook that I should be careful with the way I respond to comments or I type on Facebook that some people are evil. Say, what concerns me if some people are evil? She already has this mindset that that's people that can stop her or stop him from advancing life. If you believe that your village people are the reason why you are not progressing, so be it, so it is. If you believe that the reason why you are not making progress in life is your father or your mother or somebody from your father's side or your mother's side, so shall it be. You have to discard those kind of mindsets. So when you start reading books of people that have advanced in life, because Nigeria is a third world country, we need to accelerate our progress by rubbing our minds with the minds of people in the first world countries. There's no other way we can accelerate our growth. No other way. Or there are many other ways, but reading is one of the easy way or one of the cheapest way. Anybody can pick up a book, even if you can't buy a new one. There are ebooks everywhere, or you can borrow from a friend. But you see, because people think that reading will transform their life immediately, they say, oh, reading help. Because they think if you read now, you become rich tomorrow. It doesn't work like that. It's a gradual process. It's a gradual process. Just like faith cometh by hearing and hearing of the word of God, so also the kind of mindset that will help you to achieve financial freedom cometh by reading and reading and hearing the kind of information, knowledge, insights that are worthwhile. So that limiting mindset is when I start earning more, I will manage my money better. In fact, I think somebody was saying that in ML community recently. I was like, why would you say that? I didn't respond to the person, but You need to understand that he that is faithful in little is going to be faithful in more. Do you remember the parable of the 10 talents or the 5 talents? I can't remember exactly. When the rich man was going on a journey and he called 3 of his servants, he gave one 5, he gave one 2, he gave one 1. The one that had 5 came back with 10. The one that had 2 came back with 4. The one that had 1 went to hide it. What did the rich man do? He collected the little, that is 1, and gave it to the one that had more. So don't think that because you earn a small income today, that's why you can be careless about your finances. And then when you now start earning a high income, you will not be deliberate with your finances. It is inconsequent. Inconsequent. I was sharing with one of Money Lessons team members recently that when I first got employed in 2018 or so, yeah. And, you know, we went on a training for a while, and so we were not spending our money. For about 7 months, we were on training. And when we came out from the training, some of us, I think one of my colleagues went to Lekki and rented a 3-bedroom flat. He had so much money at that time, so he didn't think of how he was going to pay the subsequent rent. It just felt like, you know, living on Admiralty Road was one of the best things you can do for your life. It was his first time working. In fact, he had not gone to MSc. He had just graduated from school, fresh out of school, you know, was so excited about that job opportunity. 1 year later, he packed out from the house to go to a cheaper house. He did not lose his job, same job. He packed out by himself. If he had known that there's a certain percentage of your income that should go to rent, he wouldn't have used all the savings he had to go and rent something that is above his income. So only poor-minded people think that until they start earning a high income, that's when they'll be deliberate about their finances. That is why they learn the habits of being careless, reckless with their money, and then when the high income comes, they continue to be reckless. See, more money would only enhance the habits you have already. If you already have a bad habit, more money would enhance it. There's no 2 ways around it. You cannot suddenly become a better person because you have money. You cannot. At that time, self, you'll be overexcited. You can die. If it just might 10 million into your account now and you have only been any 100,000 before, you think that you go think, your brain will crash first. How do you want to budget it? You have not learned how to budget 100K. How do you budget 10 million? First, you'll be thinking of, Benz. I mean, 10 million cannot really buy Benz now anyways. But you first think, which I'll go buy? Oh, iPhone. I can buy one iPhone where go fit stand on top table where my friends, when they see I'm doing. 5, you only live once. You know, you don't only live once, guys. I always say this. Somebody was telling me that you only live once. You're trying to explain this in one theoretical way on Facebook. See, we will die at some point in life. But the idea of you only live once is to make you live like you're going to die now or tomorrow. That's why I'm against it, right? So you only live once is what forces people to want to enjoy life now. All of the money that they have, you know, as they're making it, they're enjoying life because, I mean, you only live once. If you don't enjoy it today, next of thing will take them. That's the poverty mentality. Because you can be unfortunate and live to 90. I mean, there are people that are 90 years today. You retire at 60, you have 30 years extra. So imagine not having a source of income, not having assets to pay your bills at that age. You become a nuisance to yourself and to the society at large. Rich people are selfish and stingy. Entitlement mentality. Many Nigerians have this mentality. Discard it. You want to become rich, if you want to become wealthy, you have to discard entitlement mentality. Some people say there are no opportunities in Nigeria. Well, that is the reason why some people are advancing and some people are stuck where they are. Because we think that there are no opportunities, there will be no opportunities for you because you will not make the efforts to get such opportunities. Earlier this year, I launched a job hunt challenge. I think I had about 20 people in that group where we pushed them to send out, I think, about 5 applications every day. Some people sent out up to 100 applications in 100 days. Many of them have come back to come and thank me for that challenge. Why? Some of them got extra gigs, some of them got a new job. You know, my testimonials here and there. It is because I believe that there are opportunities. I don't believe that there are opportunities, I will not, in my wisdom or foolishness, say job hunt challenge. Some people thought I did it to make money. How much? For 5K or is it 10K? I told people to pay to join. What is that? That's no money. So if you think there are no opportunities, you will not make efforts to grow. Or you make little efforts because you cannot come and kill yourself. Another statement of a poor man. How can you be in Nigeria and say you cannot come and kill yourself? Nigeria is not for the weak. You must make efforts. 2x to 5x what your peers are doing. 2x to 5x. Efforts every day. Every day. You're looking for a job, you must be sending out applications at least 10 every day. Otherwise, you're not serious. That's just the truth. But people are saying what is not realistic. I said I set up a job hunt challenge and we're sending out 6 to 10 applications every day for 100 days. I tracked it. I make sure that the people that joined that challenge did it. It's not impossible. But if you don't think it is possible, you will not do it. Because this thing is simple, right? If you send 100 applications, you are likely to get called for an interview by 10 of them. Let's say 10 out of the 100, right? 10, you attend 10 interviews. No matter how bad you are, 2 call you for maybe further interview, or they'll send you an offer letter out of the 10. So it's a numbers game. But you know what some of us do? We make applications for 10 jobs and then go and sleep. And they say, no jobs in the country. You apply for only 10. Every day in Nigeria, over 5,000 job opportunities are listed. I don't know, one of my friends told me, say, HRO experts said, the city of Port Harcourt. Over 5,000. One of my HRO friends here in Lagos to said the same thing. Over 5,000 job opportunities are listed every day. But so if you already have the mind that there are no job opportunities, you're not going to make applications for them. So we're going to move on. Let me see how we're doing with time. Okay, so just a quick check-in here. I see some of us are complaining of time. Guys, Master of Finances is once in a year. I understand that for some of us, it's the first time here, but I'm so sorry we started late. If you have somewhere to be and you're not able to stay to the end, I recommend that you upgrade to VIP. When you do that, you would get a replay of the masterclass. And aside from the replay, you are going to also get access to ML Community. Okay, so you're also going to get access to MoneyOS. And then, you know, it's going to be worthwhile for you. Tomorrow, you can decide not to attend, and then you watch the replay. But of course, I always recommend that you join the masterclass live. Okay, so we're going to be moving on now. I'm going to come back to all of this later. We need to save our time. Okay, so understand your financial position. Very important. Very important. Where do you stand today? I created a financial test for us. How many of us are taking the financial test? Please, admin, share it on the group. Fintest.bolt.host. If you're not taking the financial test, please save that link. You need to take it. You need to understand your current financial health. If you don't know where you are, you cannot move to where you desire. If you don't know where you are, you cannot move to where you desire. It's very important that you understand your current financial position. So the first thing you want to check is what is your cash flow. Cash flow is simple. Inflow and outflow into your accounts. How much is getting to my account on a monthly basis? How much is getting out? Many of us don't know. In fact, some of us refuse to know because we are scared of the results. Some of us were spending more than we earn on a monthly basis. We are just surviving by God's grace. That's what we would say. It is very important that you understand how much is getting in and out of your account on a monthly basis. If you don't know what your cash flow is, you're likely not to know what your net worth is. I'm not going to talk about net worth now, maybe also tomorrow. So your financial health scorecard. Very important. Very, very important. What is your scorecard? So I'm going to give us 1 minute now to take that test. And then I'm going to share something on the board that I have here. Okay, so before I talk about the financial health scorecard, I want to show something that I have on the board. This is something that I had explained some time ago. I actually did a video to explain this recently. I want to explain this because some of us are making very, very big mistakes with our finances because we don't understand where we are. You need to understand your financial position. Very, very important. So, if you're a Nigerian born in Nigeria and likely from a poor background, this is where you will start from. Survivor. This is the stage where what you getting into your account on a monthly basis is just enough to pay your bills. In fact, sometimes it might not be enough. You have to go and borrow. This is a stage where there's hardship. Any little change in the economy affects you. Now, there's nothing wrong with being here. Like I said earlier, many of us start from here. I was here some time ago, some years ago, maybe 10 years ago, this is where I was. But the fact that you're here does not mean that you'll be here forever. But there are certain things you have to do to get out from this place. Now, many people on this stage are acting like they are here, or maybe here. And that's why they are stuck here for many years. This stage is where you have to be economical with your resources. And this stage is where any income you earn has to be budgeted meticulously. I'm going to show you how to budget meticulously. You are supposed to use a part of your income for your personal growth. This is where you're going to invest in your stuff. Now, this could be skills. This could be further education, FE. Further education could be MSc, could be BGD. It could be, certifications on Coursera, on Udemy. This is not a stage where you should be looking for how to double your 5K. That's the mistake that many people make. They're earning 100K, they're looking for how to use 10K to multiply and get maybe 20K in the stock market or in the crypto markets. And then that 10K, when it's gone, it's gone. It's gone. If you take that 10K and invest in learning a digital skill, that 10K will not give you 10% or 20% or 20%. That 10K can give you 2,000% growth. So, mistake again that many people make. Let me explain it clearly because I've tried to talk to some people that I know about this, but they don't understand. Hopefully, some of us that are here this night will get it. You earn 100K, right? You earn this money, you're likely here. In fact, 200K, sir. 200K in Nigeria, if you're living in Lagos, you're still survivor. Right? Because you cannot pay your rent in this kind of amount of money, except to face me and face you. You face me and face you now in Lagos, it's expensive. Now you say that, oh, I'm able to save 50K. That's very prudent with how you spend money. I am able to save 50K. I say nothing is 50K. Say what can I invest in where? Mutual funds. What will mutual funds give you? 20% maximum. So 20% of top 50K is what? That's 60K goods. Oh, you say, okay, mutual funds is not the only one I can invest in. Then you do stocks. Take the 50K, put it in stocks because the stocks can give you what? 100% growth. Okay. 50K stocks. It gives you 100K. I mean, you say want to do crypto. Maybe crypto can do 200%. You get 200K. Let me tell you something. At some point, because you are in this survival stage, you would have to spend this money. Any of this money would have to be spent. Once you spend this money, you are back to zero. Your investment is gone. You don't have capital again. So that's when people are stuck at this stage. Anytime they save money and invest money, at some point they're going to withdraw the money so that they can spend it on survival. And then you're not back to zero capital. But if you take this money and invest it in your skill set or invest it in further education, you know what's going to happen? Your earning capacity is going to increase. So you will no longer be earning 200K. Instead, you go and spend it anyhow. That's why some of us need mentors. But spending the right way, this of 200K will increase to, say, 300K per month. Now, you will not have more money to invest in yourself. And I just tell people that at this stage, only when there is no room to invest in yourself, you have exhausted personal development. There is no course to buy that is worthwhile. There's no skill to learn that you would have time to practice. There's no conference that you need to attend. There's no seminar workshop that will help you to increase your earning capacity. Then you can start thinking of investing in assets. Until then, focus on stuff so that you can quickly leave this stage to here. Security. What is security? Security is when you earn enough to take care of your bills and you still have some amount left for savings. I'm not going to spend so much on this. So this person on this stage has an emergency fund, has some savings. If prices of fuel or any other commodity increase, they're not going to be shocked immediately. They will be able to take part of their savings to cover for that additional expense. Growth. This is where everybody should work towards getting. I believe strongly that every one of us on this call tonight can get to this stage. This is the growth phase. What is the growth phase? This is the stage where you are investing in assets, investing in other people's businesses, or even starting up your own business. At this stage, you have enough to cover for your living expenses. Enough. You don't have to bother about what to eat, when to pay your rent, or how you pay your rent. You're not thinking about it because you have gone to the point financially or income-wise to cover for all of those expenses that you have enough room to now invest. Growth phase. I can't really tell you how much you need to be earning per month to be here because it varies depending on where you live, depending on your responsibilities, and many other things. But you need to determine today where you are. So I would like to see in the comment section, those of us that are sincere, where we are. We're going to stop here. Maybe tomorrow we're going to continue with abundance and freedom. Okay, so back to the slide. I would like to know in the comment section where you are on the 5 financial stages. And please, if you're getting value from this conversation or from this class this evening, please, I would like to know, I would like to get some feedback, share I'm getting value. I'm getting value. So I talked about your financial health scorecard. If you are not taking the financial health test, please go and take it. Again, please share that link. You need to take that test so that you know your current financial situation. Cash flow, how much is left after expenses on a monthly basis? Emergency fund, can you survive if you lose your job today? Many people cannot. How many months can you survive if your income stops? Some people say, God forbid, bad thing. Okay? Okay, so the slide is not yet showing. I'm going to put it back now. Okay, so we're back. If you can see my screen, please let me know. All right. So emergency fund is simply 3 to 6 months of your living expenses kept in an account that is risk-free, so that in a case of emergencies, you can quickly take money out of there to sort out that emergency. Many people today, if there's an emergency, the next thing they will do is to call somebody to ask for urgent 5K, urgent 10K. That is financial recklessness. You should be prepared for situations where you would be able to cover for that expenses without begging anybody. That shows you are responsible. Debts. Are your debts repayment under control? How much do you spend out of your income for debt payments? Investments. Are you building assets consistently, or you squander all of the income you get on a monthly basis? Now we're moving on to the crux of the matter tonight. Building a financial system. If you are in a WhatsApp group, take a screenshot, let people know that it's getting hot right here. In fact, even in this AC, I'm sweating already. It's getting hot right here. When people hear about financial management, when people hear about personal finance management, when people hear about structuring your finances, they think that we are trying to restrict them from living their life. No. When we're talking about budgeting, we're just telling you to give your money a direction before it is spent. We're not trying to deprive you of enjoying life. Some people think that when we say manage your finances, we're saying don't enjoy life. No, that's not it. I'm going to show you that you can enjoy life and still manage your finances effectively. So in building a financial system, you have to first start with your actual take-home income. We're going to go back to the board very soon because we're going to do practical. You need to determine what exactly do you earn, because some people don't know how much they earn. They just live life carelessly. I was discussing with a friend recently, and he told me that because he runs a business, and 1 month they decided to record the sales from the business, the service business. And he said he was surprised. Why was he surprised? Because in all the months and years that he's doing the business, he didn't know that his business can make that amount of money. In fact, in his mind, till today, he thinks that that is the highest his business has made. And one thing I told him that that's not the highest. That is the highest that you have recorded. So he has been doing business, no record. So he does not even know how much income is getting from business. He does not know how much of that income or revenue that is profit, how much of that profit that is using to take care of his family. As the money is entering, they're spending, So that month that he had made a lot of money because he was not used to managing his finances, they overspent. They spent so much that month that they now went to the following month and the revenue from the business dropped by nearly 50%. Guess what? They're not trying to adjust their finances again. The way they spend money on their living expenses. Because no system. There was no system to tell how much should be spent on home runs, how much should be spent on, different parts of their life. No idea. They were just spending according to what they earn. So today, this month, they're enjoying. Following month, they're suffering. That's how some people are. They get a contract, and for the next 2 months, they're enjoying life. If they don't have another contract for the next 2 months, they're suffering again. So their life is like this simple pendulum, up and down, because no system. So now you need your jotter. How much is your take-home income? You need to be able to separate from that income fixed expenses, variable expenses, goals, and obligations. I'm going to show you on the board now. So I don't know how much we should use. How much we use? We need to use a figure. We would choose out of the numerous figures that are mentioned. Okay. So I can't see any figure. What are the figure? What's common? Should we use 200, 300? Total income, what should we use? Please type in the chat box. What should we use? Okay, can I use 300? Okay, I'm going to use 300. Okay, so this is just a high level, right? High level, we're going to do this equal. So we have what's called essentials. Many people don't know the difference between essentials and non-essentials. The non-essentials can be anything. So we're going to put non-essentials, essentials. Yeah. And then I'm going to, for tonight, put investing under essentials. Before we get to investing, let me tell you about essentials. So what are the things that we spend on a monthly basis as Nigerians living in Nigeria? Number one is rent. Your rent is non-negotiable. If you don't pay your rent, your landlord will kick you out. Second one is what? Food. If you don't eat, you will die. For those of us that go to work, you must transport yourself. Forgive my handwriting. And then another one is what? Utilities. Some people will argue that clothing should be there. I mean, if you get a job and you don't have good clothes, you will need to go and buy. But I mean, you don't buy clothing on a monthly basis. Essentially, I don't know what to call it. So How much of this 300K should go for rents? How much of this 300K should go for food? How much of 300K should go for transport? That's a simple formula, simple formula. For rents, you need to spend a maximum of 3 months of your salary on rents. How do you get that figure? So 300K plus 300K plus 300K, that's 900K. Now you now divide that 900K by 12. That will now tell you how much is your rent on a monthly basis. Okay? Simple math. 35,000. Monthly basis, that's your rent. If you can spend less, good for you. If you can't spend less, that's fine. 35K is monthly, and then 900K here. Maybe you guys can talk here. 900K is annual. Now some people will say that but it's hard to find a place where you can pay rent 900K in Lagos or wherever you stay. True. Don't worry, we'll come to how you can increase this area. So food, this is flexible. It can range from anything to anything. So I'm going to talk about this as a fixed amount. It can be anything. So get your book and Bible and start feeling. What do you think you can spend on rent? What you can spend on food, transport, utilities, and clothing? Whatever you think you can spend, you should not be more than 60% of its income. So let me put total there. So 60% of 300K is what? That is around 180,000. $180,000. Let me show. Okay. So you have 180,000 dedicated to your essentials. These are non-negotiables. You must spend this amount or more on essentials. But some people say that my rent is more than 900K. You can adjust it. So you can now go to maybe 70%. So your essentials should be 60% or 70%, depending on the city you are living in. Some people living in expensive cities may not be able to pay 900K for their rent. Okay? Non-essentials, what are non-essentials? Eating out. Fun activities. Charity. Tax. Buying, what do you call it? Shopping. All these are not essentials. You can do without these things. See, if you don't get a job, you will not have money to give to your family members. Some people think that flat tax, money they need to give to their parents or give to their siblings, is an essential need. It is not. If you are jobless, you have no money to give to them. Yes. So, how much is this non-essential? Rule of thumb is 20%. Because I'm working with 300K, 20% non-essential. So what's 20% of 300K? 60K. Now, if you are a very kind person, you love your family so much, you cannot watch them suffer. Part of the 60K, give them. That means no shopping for you, no having fun, no eating out. All of this money goes to them. Family obligation. You cannot take and have it. Did you say you are very kind? You want to give them good amount of money every month, give them everything. But do you know what some people do in their wisdom, or that's a foolishness? The money is supposed to be for their future. Future self. What is future self? Personal development. Assets. Business. Business there. How much first of all here? Another 20%. It's more money. That's why some people invest. They say it's more money. Abi? Okay. This is 3,000. You know what some people do? This is 2,000. They'll give it here. Because some people say they'll give it here. But that they should invest in their own future. Somebody comes on Facebook and say, I'm in need of help. My mother is in the hospital. This. They go to their own pay because I'm a good person. Out of that 10K that inside their own pay, they will come up 5K, send them. Very was. Your future is in danger. You are helping another person that's not contributing anything to your future, to your life, to your existence. So this is a simple architecture of how your money should be distributed. Now, there's something called emergency fund. Emergency fund is something you need to build if you don't have it already. You can take out of here to build an emergency fund. The emergency fund is 3 to 6 months of your living expenses. Now that you know that every 100K and the living expenses is 180K, the emergency fund should be EN. 180 times 3. That is quick maths. Let me just use my calculator here. 540. So if you earn around this amount of money, you don't have this in investment, you don't have this in emergency fund, you are at risk. If you lose your job today, you go and start begging people. It's a giving. There's no two ways around this. The emergency fund is supposed to take care of your living expenses for at least 3 months. In that 3 months, your mental state is okay. You can think, you can plan. If you don't have an emergency fund, maybe they start to see what happened to people that work with Sterling Bank. In fact, I know another bank or 2 banks will start people this year, over 100 people. Many of them are going to find it difficult to get job immediately. How will you survive in that 3 months? In fact, some people advise that you increase the emergency fund to 6 months, if possible. I usually recommend that we have 3 months in risk-free accounts and then another 3 months in maybe mutual funds or not-fit accounts. So at this point, I'm expecting questions. We see if you have any questions, start putting them in chat box. I'm going to go to them as we progress or at the end of the session. We're almost at the end for tonight's So now we have separated our fixed expenses. Our fixed expenses is essentials. Our variable expenses is non-essentials. Non-essentials vary. You're not expected to shop every day or every month. You're not expected to eat out every day. You're not expected to do charity every time. You're not expected to send money to your family and friends every month. So those are variables. Your goals are what belongs here. Future self, personal development, and business. Some of us can afford to start a business, but the reason why we have not started one is because all of the money that we earn, we lavish it. Enjoy life, fund other people's financial problems, and because nobody knows tomorrow, we think that that is the way to go about life. One of the systems that you need to create for yourself is automating how you save and invest. As soon as the income enters your account, a part is deducted. into savings, into investments. You don't need to think about it too much. That's why they say, pay yourself first. How much will you pay yourself first? If you earn 300K, 60K only. I'm not saying everything. Now you can see there's another 60K to enjoy your life. See, if I'm you, I'm any 300K. I'm not going to care about black tax. I will use that 60K to enjoy life, because working 8 to 5 or working anywhere is hard. Make family members wait first. Let me get out of survival stage. So you can still enjoy life. I'm not saying invest all of the money you have or earn. Out of this 300K, 60K invest. Personal development. If you put it together every month, because you know when you see 60K out of 1 month, it looks small. 60K times 10 is 600K. If you do it for 2 years, that is 1.5 million. That's a lot of money. A lot of money. Some of us are working for 10 years. We don't have 1.5 million. Because we see little amount of money as insignificant. Remember what I said earlier on, if you're not faithful in little, you cannot be faithful in much. Very important. So make an effort to review your financial system on a regular basis. There are some months where maybe you will spend more in essentials and then spend less in non-essentials. You now have, some deficits or some extra income. Can I invest that money? Yes. There are other months where you now have more money to spend on essentials. That's okay. This month I will invest less. It's fine. You should be flexible. It's not a regimented system. It's a system to support your financial goals, not to hinder you from surviving. If it's not supporting your financial goals, then it's a bad system. So this system varies from person to person. One person can earn 300K and spend 300K on essentials. Yes, depending on your family size. If you have 3 children, you live in Lagos with 300K and so far, you cannot survive it. If you're a single person earning 300K, maybe in Benin City or maybe Calabar, you can be forming big boys. So your financial system is going to vary from person to person. This I showed you on the board was just a guide. It's an architecture that you can follow. It does not mean that you spend 180K. Percentage, that's what I used to calculate it. Percentages. So whatever income you spend or earn today, write it on the jotter that you have. Allocate a percentage from it for your essentials. Allocate another percentage of it to your non-essential. And this is what I always tell people. Those of us that have family obligations, right? But the first person in our family to start earning well. Lots of people are going to be calling us every time you get paid or we get paid for help, to pay school fees, to pay rent, hospital bill. They'll call you, I understand. 60K, yeah. If your income is 300K, you can say, okay, I'll do 40K for my family members. Once you hit that 40K, you don't end. In fact, we're going to go more into that in the next slide. So you can love your family and still have financial boundaries. I always tell people about the parable of the 5 wise virgins and the 5 foolish virgins. If that story had happened in present-day Nigeria, many people would have condemned the wise virgins. Some of us, out of our savings, were helping other people. How can? Charity should not be out of your savings. Then from the 5 wise virgins, they had extra oil, and the lamp of the 5 foolish virgins went out. What did they do? Many Nigerians would have borrowed them their extra oil. Yes? Because they say, give, I shall give not to you. But we don't read that part of the Bible that the 5 foolish virgins, 5 wise virgins told them that they had no oil to give them. If they had decided to be kind enough to give them the oil, while they were waiting for the bridegroom, their own oil would have finished. So both the 5 foolish virgins and the 5 wise would have all become foolish. That's what some of us are today. The period we had abundance, we're doing dorime with the give out because it's surplus. You don't know how to manage abundance. Now that you are in your famine period, there's nothing. Let me tell you something I always tell my friends. Ants will always gather where there's sugar. Immediately the sugar finishes, they swammer. Your family members that are calling you today, they love you, yes. But if money finish, they'll stop calling you. I'll tell you, it's facts. I've seen it happen everywhere. In my extended family, in other families that are of my friends, I've seen it happen. But money finish. But that end. Now insult follow. The person that used to have the loudest voice in family meetings because he had money in the pocket, now they didn't invite him for family meeting again. People would forget. People would forget. So you cannot support people because you are worried about what they will say about you. Let them say. Tufe say, how did you put it? They'll talk about you, whether you do good or do bad, talk about you, whether you're nobody or somebody. No, let's talk. The same people that are saying that you are stingy today, if that money finish, they will start telling other people that used to be a rich man, oh, nobody knows where to use the money to. So you have to decide and define what your capacity is on a monthly basis. How much can you give out to family members? Once you reach that limit, it don't end. As I manage mine, I'll tell you to come next month. And most often than not, the following month, they will not come. There are some people that have degree in asking for financial help. They know how to play the game. Just like some people do 100 applications for job on a monthly basis. These people ask 100 people for financial help on a monthly basis. Out of the 100, 20 will respond. The following month, they will shuffle, ask another 100. Now again, some of you don't know. So you think if you don't help them, they will die. They will not die. They will even live longer than you. You know, since a rich man, they die any part of Nigeria. Survive. You're my last hope. You're not anybody's last hope except the family you brought to earth. That is your wife and your children, or your husband and your children. Those are your last hope. I'm not saying that in emergency situation, you know, yes, there are emergency situation. Family members in hospital. I mean, if you can take out extra from your savings, but it should not be every time. You should not be solving family problems every month. That's what some people are doing. Every month they're solving family problems. That's why they are stuck at that survival stage on the pyramid. If they do an analysis of their cash flow, inflow and outflow of their accounts, they'll be shocked. Because of time, I wanted us to do that. Those of us that joined the WhatsApp group, we did that exercise earlier. Looking at your cash flow for the last 3 months. Where did you spend the most money? Some people said they spend the most money on food. Some people said, was it house rent, black tax? I can't really remember. It's very important that you know where you're spending most of your money on a monthly basis, because that is the only way you can move forward. If you don't evaluate your current financial situation, you cannot alter or provide solution to it. So prioritize emergency requests. Not every emergency should be attended to. Some people will come to you to ask for 10K. Do you know what those 10K to do? To go and buy fish that you yourself are depriving yourself to buy. They will go and buy something that is inconsequential, something that's not important. Because they know you cannot say no, they continue to squeeze you dry. Thank God they have come to matter of finances today. You will learn how to say no. You will not die. They will only be upset. And that's it. Protect your future. If you don't Take care about how you help other people. Soon you'll be the one seeking for help. If you don't invest in yourself, invest in assets, start up a business, when you lose your primary source of income, you have no choice to beg. I always say this, some people are enjoying their years of bountiful harvest. They are earning the highest they will ever earn in life. Some people say, God forbid. Yes. Some people are earning the highest they will ever earn in life. So it is not up to them to learn how to manage it. Look at what happened in Egypt. The 7 years of harvest. These people stored grains for 7 years. That the whole world was coming to Egypt, including Israelites, to come and beg for food when there was 7 years of famine. Have you ever imagined how these people were able to store food for 7 years? Some of us cannot even store for 3 months. Scripture says, go to the hands, ye sluggard, and learn its ways. What does the hands do? During the winter or during the summer, it harvests and puts to the ground. Because during the winter, rain does fall everywhere. You don't fit come outside from ground. Wisdom. Debt management. This is the last one we're going to be looking at tonight. Many people have a misconception about debt in Nigeria. People think that debt is bad and should be avoided at all costs. Now, there's something you need to understand about debt. There's good debt and there's bad debt. A good debt is a debt that's supporting your financial growth and that's making life more comfortable for you. A bad debt is one that is destroying your financial growth or making it impossible for you to advance financially. So you have to be very careful with what it is. Some of us, have so much debt that we don't even know how to address it. We are scared of confronting our debts. One time I had, a friend who was in terrible debt in business and I had to tell him to go and do the exercise. I said, get Excel or take a notebook, write all your debts. For the first time, he knew the total amount he was owing. For the first time, that's when it was clear to him. He had always known that he was owing money, but no idea of how much. So after listening of debt, I started working out with him. I said, okay, which ones are priority? Which ones must you pay in the next 1 month? Which one can you pay in 6 months? Which one can you pay in 1 year? Okay, this one you can pay in 6 months for 1 year. Go and call your creditors. Tell them that, CEO, this is the situation that you are now. Please give me some time. They'll not kill you. You're not the first to owe debts. But many people are so irresponsible that they are owing debts and they'll stop communicating to the people that are owing. And in fact, they won't go to the extent of blocking the person because I've said it already, you are not the first person to owe. But that's a responsibility because the time when you were asking for the help, you're very humble. So what is a good debt and what's a bad debt? I'll give you 2 examples of both. Or maybe, 2 examples of both. So a good debt, number 1, mortgage. In Nigeria and Lagos today, and maybe Abuja, some other cities, there's mortgage opportunities that many people don't know of. Write this down, MREIF, M-R-E-I-F. You can Google it later to find out what MREIF is. You need guidance on how to take advantage of it. You can, reach out to me. If you join my community, you can always send me a DM. Okay? Go and search MREIF. So MREIF is mortgage. You can get up to 100 million naira to buy a house. In Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, and some other cities. It's a program that is public, private, government, private, funded. Now, it makes sense to take that money to get a house. Why? Because it's going to make you a bit comfortable today and drive down your expenses on a yearly basis. So any debt that will help to reduce your recurring expenses over time, it's a good debt. As long as the interest rate is lower than inflation rate. Because what I always tell people is that you should, as much as you can, bring your future income forward to spend it today. If you know you're going to earn 1 million in the next 6 months and you can spend that 1 million today, it's better you do that. Why? 1 million naira today is more valuable than 1 million naira in 6 months' time. So the interest rate is low. You're fine. 10%, 50% is fine. The mortgage I just mentioned is about 9.7% or 10% thereabout. Or is it 19% or 9%? And it's very low, lower than what the CBN interest rate is right now. Another example of a good debt is that you borrow money to buy an inverter system. So you are in an area where power is very epileptic. You have children, or maybe work from home. You can borrow money to set up an inverter system. What would that help you achieve? Improve productivity. Improve productivity, which would lead to increased income. Improved productivity, which will lead to what? Increased income. That will also reduce the stress of managing generator and fuel that is very expensive now. Many people don't know it. If you do the analysis between generator fueling and inverter system over 2 years, inverter system is cheaper. The only thing is that inverter setup is capital intensive. That's why I said if you can borrow money to set it up, borrow. Now, I'm not talking about going to borrow from OPay. Those guys, the interest, or PalmPay, the interest rate is too high. Talking about cooperatives, if you work in an organization where there is cooperative, you can borrow money from them. Some of them do 10% to 12%. Bring your future income forward to enhance your life today. Don't borrow to invest. Do not borrow to invest. Set a businessman, you want to borrow to invest in an established business, a business that is already making clear profit from revenue. Don't borrow money to start a business where you don't even know the left from your right. You're going to enter into a very difficult situation. Example of bad debts: borrowing money to attend burial ceremony, borrowing money to fund wedding ceremony, borrowing money to buy ashwebi, borrowing money to borrow to another person. Some people do it though. I don't know who told them that. They are very nice, they're very kind people. I don't know why I borrow for my friend. You can't borrow to go and borrow to another person. What such kind of wisdom? I don't understand where you have it from. That's bad debt. A debt that the interest rate is higher than inflation rate, bad debt. Except it's borrowing for business. Except it's for business, bad debt. Any debt that requires more than 20% of your income to service the debt on a monthly basis, bad debt. If you earn 200K, out of that 200K, you are spending 40K to service that debt. It's a bad debt. The debt big pass. Yes. So debt is good, but it's only good in the hands of those that know how to use it. I bought my first car with debt. I always say this. I almost forgot. My second car with debt. Yes. In 2023, when Tinubu became president, and when I knew he was going to announce the devaluation of Naira, I called my car dealer. I was not even in Lagos. Although I was eyeing, some cars, I was looking at upgrading my car for my family, I got married, had a child, so it was time for my wife to have her own car to improve our comfort in the city of Lagos. I called the guy, how much for this car? I say, he called the friends. The moment Tinubu announced the devaluation of Naira, I sent a message, send me account number, contacted cooperative, borrowed money from cooperative, added the small money I had too, and bought the car. That car doubled in price 6 months later. Even if I said I wanted to wait to save over 6 months to buy that car, I wouldn't have been able to buy it. Remember, I talk about utility, inverter system. Yes, I did not mention car. Car is a utility to improve the quality of my life. Now, the interest rate on that loan was 10%, more or less. I paid it off in less than 2 years. Comfortable, conveniently for my monthly income. Bringing future income forward to improve the quality of your life today or to fast track your goals. You can borrow money for MSc as long as it's not a useless course you're going to study. Yes. Anyways, today is not debt alone, but this is an area where if you can master it, you can use it to fast track your life. Even the first car I bought back then, you know, if I said, let me wait 1 year later, I bought it when lockdown, COVID lockdown, 2020. I remember very well. That car, maybe lockdown was lifted. I ran to, you know, where they were selling cars and I paid. I bought that car 3.9 million, 2020, May, 2020 May or June. That same year, December, that car went to 4.5 million. That same year. So imagine I said, let me wait for my money to accumulate when I'm going to buy it. So debt is good in the hands of those that know how to use debt. It is only financial illiterates that avoid debt. Only people that are reckless and irresponsible that avoid debt. Now, I'm not saying you can start borrowing money from PAMPay and OPay. Avoid those places. Avoid those places. Okay. All right, so we've come to the end of today's session. And this is the time where I can take questions if you have any. If you've got value so far from all we have shared this evening, please, I would like you to type in the comment section, I got value, I got value. This was worth my time. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to be going into how to make your money, make more money for you, investing, how you can grow your wealth,